All right, so on this week's weekly, the song's called Therapy. It's produced by my brother Sojourn, original member of Future Shock. Shout out to my man Zach Sparazzo for doing the video. He's been holding me down, doing a great job. And this song is really, there's several layers to it. The very, I would say, surface layer, the title, Therapy. It's kind of me just talking about the fact that I have music, that music is my therapy. Music is my outlet. I've never been to therapy, and hopefully I don't ever have to go to therapy, but who knows? But music is my therapy, music is my outlet, and music is my way to vent. And what I've been kind of talking a lot about as of late is learning our identity, learning our value as people, learning who we are and learning who we aren't. And that's the deeper meaning of the song, especially coming out of Easter weekend. I dropped a song earlier in the week with my man Don Marcel called Identity. And, oftentimes if we don't have a great grasp of who we are and who we're supposed to be, other people will project their version of us onto us, right? Their version and their perception of who we are onto us. And this song is basically me just saying, like, look, this is who I am, this is who I'm not. And so first verse goes, they said I ain't vulnerable enough. Maybe I should glorify my sin more to endure how my life has been so tough. Much easier to skip owning it, keep condoning it, like I ain't the one ultimately controlling it. One of my observations, I think, of where we are as a society and where people are, is that we're much more obsessed with being authentic and being real than we are with projecting truth, and they're going to be helpful and they're going to add value to people. And I don't want to be the guy that's more into being real and being authentic. I'm going to be real and I'm going to be honest, but I want to make sure that in my honesty, I'm presenting stuff from a healthy, positive, encouraging, uplifting worldview instead of just venting and being honest for the sake of being honest, because that's not always helpful. Like, ultimately, we are the ones that are in control of our actions. We are the ones that are in control of our decisions. And if something doesn't go the way we feel like it should have went, we shouldn't just step back and instantly play the victim role and kind of paint that narrative in art. That, at least in my opinion. We've all been victimized. We've all had bad things happen to us, but we're not victims. I'm not a victim. They said I ain't talented enough.
Like, why you gotta rap, man? You should really advance the careers of every other creative you already feel is on your back when that's not what I'm supposed to do.
My primary thing is I've always been an artist. I've always been a creative. And the secondary thing has been I've launched into starting a label and signing other artists and putting out other artists. If you don't guard your identity, people will project their version of you onto you. Where was I? Sorry, the camera died and I had to do an outfit change. But yeah, I was saying I've had people project their version of me onto me and tell me stuff like, oh, you shouldn't be doing music, you shouldn't be rapping, you should just focus on a label, you should just focus on a business. And, just because you're good at something doesn't mean that the other thing you're passionate about isn't something you should be doing. So the rest of the song is,
Said my concepts are too vague, but when I'm conscious, you say it's still over your head just like a toupee. And you right, Sway, I ain't got all the answers, touche, but I got a few things to say.
To me, that part is kind of a theme throughout the whole record, where dropping knowledge or information or encouraging people or just being inspirational, like, I feel like that's not cool in music anymore, or at least in hip-hop. Like, it's not cool to use music as a form to capture imaginations and educate them and help them. Clearly, I don't agree with that. Like, I think music can be used to do all kinds of wonderful things. And so, and then just a shout out to Sway, you know what I mean? I saw a lot of people tagging Sway after they saw the video. But I got a few things to say before I hit him with
the doomsday, worst case scenario. I don't really care if you rotate this on your stereo. I don't really care if you make me the villain for telling it how it is, but that's the only way that I know to live.
I'm gonna present the truth to you in my art and in my music, and if that makes me a bad guy, or if that makes me less artistic or less creative to some people, like, that's cool. But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna conform. I'm not gonna water down my message and my meaning to the standards of whatever people project on me. The second verse goes,
they said I ain't technical enough. I need to use more cool voice inflections and clever word selections instead of just dropping gems and giving you these lessons.
End of the first verse, second verse, kind of saying the same thing. This is specifically to where rap has evolved, where there's a lot of use of different voices and tones and ad-libs, and I've never been that kind of rapper. I think it's cool, and I think some people pull it off really well. I'm just my art is gonna drop gems and bring value to people. They said my art ain't pure enough.
Cause I'm too concerned if my heart is pure enough, and the overflow of the things that come out. I give an account before time runs out. I'm living it out. I give them my all. I'm making it count with every amount.
There's a verse in the Bible that, I think it's in Matthew, that I've never really liked, and it's Jesus is saying, like, we'll give an account for all of our words. And that means all of the artistic words, that means all the things that we say, especially if we have influence. And that's a terrifying thing to think about. But as I'm becoming more mature, I'm more considerate of what my words mean to other people. I'm more considerate of the impact that they may have. I'm becoming more accountable for the things that I say, and I'm becoming more accountable for the ideas that I put in the atmosphere. This is something that I've learned through trial and error and through making mistakes in music and art. They said I ain't melodic enough.
I need to be more hypnotic and stuff. Tell more stories about how I really came out of a rough neighborhood, but my mind ain't longer in Attica, bruh.
The melodic enough, kind of the technical side, you know, again, there's way more melody in hip hop now. There's way more, you gotta sing with auto-tune, and you gotta, you know, everybody's a singer and a rapper nowadays, and that's never been who I am. Like, I've never been a singer, and I like, you know, here and there I might incorporate a little melody, but that's not my MO. And again, I'm not gonna conform to that. And then it's echoing some of the same sentiment of, like, I could talk about how rough my life is. I could talk about all the struggles that I've gone through, how rough my upbringing was. And I do talk about some of that stuff, but if you notice, that's not the overwhelming majority of my content. That my content is just as reflective as where I have came from to who I am to where I'm going. And I think that's important in music and in art, is to give people a glimpse of who you wholly are, your past, your present, and your future.
I'm a redeemed prisoner, a reformed poet in a postmodern world. I'm hoping that I'ma blow it so they can yell out hypocrite and say that they predicted and know it. Now watch me overcome the statistics and show it, yeah.
I know that I am more than just an entertainer. I love to entertain, and I love to do shows, and I love to do music, but I'm more than just an entertainer. I have more to say. My music is gonna be more intentional to that. And I know with that comes a different level of scrutiny sometimes, comes a different level of criticism, whether it's criticism of the art not being pure enough, or whether that's being criticized for being too safe or whatever. Like, and the thing is, for me, is like, this is who I really am. This is authentic to me, and I'm going to continue making art that's reflective of my worldview. So thank you guys for listening to The Weekly. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, if you want to give me ideas for other weeklies, concepts, producers, if you want to send beats, you can leave comments here. You can hit me on my super phone, shoot me an email anytime like that. And, you know, but make sure your notifications are on, following on social media and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching this, y'all. Peace.